success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever.
Welcome traders. So welcome back to Trading Psychology series at Funding Pips. My name is Paulina and I'm your trading psychology coach here at Funding Pips. And today we are exposing the hidden beliefs that quietly run the entire trading show for you. And if you keep on sabotaging yourself after winning, this session may actually explain your entire trading career this far. Because limiting beliefs are your subconscious rules that shape your risk tolerance, your execution, your identity, and how you perceive yourself as a person and as a trader, and how you perceive success, and moreover, how you perceive what you deserve. And that has a huge impact on how much you allow yourself to succeed in trading. Because if you've ever said to yourself, I will always mess it up at the end, I'm not good with money, I don't deserve to have things easy, I'm used to things being hard, and perhaps if I'll grow too fast, will I be able to maintain it? It's easier to be in this survival mode at the moment. Well, if that is the case for you, then this session of Trading Psychology series with Funding Pips is for you. Because let's unpack it. What are limiting beliefs? What are limiting beliefs in trading? And limiting beliefs are subconscious. So limiting beliefs overall, not just in trading, overall as humans, they are our subconscious mind. And they are sitting within our subconscious mind, and those are rules that quietly dictate our choices, what we think we deserve, what we think it's safe, what we perceive as risky, and what we think that we are deserving of. Essentially, our limiting beliefs sitting in our subconscious mind are dictating our reality around us and have a huge impact on our identity about ourselves. Because if you deep down think to yourself, you don't deserve to have money, you don't deserve this trading success, even though you want it, but because you are conditioned in a way that you always have to fight for things, that you always have to work hard for things because of a lot of different factors, this is the reason why you always end up in the same spot where you feel like you're not moving forwards and you are not progressing, because success is temporary for people like me. This is what you might be thinking in your head. And those are not just thoughts. Those are, let's say, emotional contracts that you've made with your past. And it has a lot to do, and it's a lot of it shaped in our childhood by trauma, by scarcity, by rejection, by money, by your society, and how perhaps your society and the society you grew up in perceived money. And all of that has a huge impact on the way we think. And the way we think shapes our reality. And I will exactly explain how. But in trading, those beliefs show up not just as words, but as actions. Actions that you take on the charts when you are risking too much, when you are hesitating on your perfect setups, when you're exiting too early, when you skip back testing and journaling, when you avoid accountability. And often traders are in profit, but they sabotage the profit and put themselves in drawdown, not on purpose, but subconsciously, which is purposeful, because that's what the beliefs about what you deserve are shaping them to become. So why do we do that? Because sabotage and your state of having to fight for things is your familiarity. And when it comes to our brain loves familiarity. And I will explain to you why. It's because whenever we are experiencing something new, this is where your brain will want to go to its default mode. And the default mode is survival. And if in trading, so far you have been surviving, and most of us do, especially at the start. So let's say you're at the start of your journey, 1 to 3 years, and you are used to suffering in the markets. You lost, you blew challenges, and you kept on going through that cycle. Your brain's used to it. That becomes your normal, okay? It is not just because of limiting beliefs, but also because trading is hard, because of the society, etc. But you go through all of that, and all of a sudden you start making profits. You start making profits and you start doing well. It almost feels uncomfortable for a lot of traders because they think, I'm not used to this. Oh, wow, I'm seeing profit. And to your brain, that is unfamiliar. And when that becomes unfamiliar for your brain, this is where your brain goes through a shock and is trying to put you back into a default mode. So your brain will always try to find shortcuts into trying to put you in a comfort zone, because that is your brain's way of protecting you. Okay, so that's kind of how it works, but I'm going to go into more detail because it is a little bit complicated and I want to break it down step by step so you understand how you filter your reality through your thoughts into your emotion, into your action, and how you are stuck in that cycle. Okay, so why do limiting beliefs control you, traders? Okay, and let's break it down. So your subconscious mind dictates 95% of your decisions. So if you think about it, we run on autopilot as people. You potentially are familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I would highly recommend him. But he also says that 90% of our thoughts are recycled from the day before. So it's very rare that original thought actually enters our brain. We have to put conscious effort into it. Otherwise, we are running on the same autopilot on a daily basis. Those thoughts are shaped, like I said, through childhood. And childhood experience, society, culture, how the money is perceived, whether we experienced problems with money, whether our parents did, how we've been taught about earning money, all of that has an impact how we perceive money, how we perceive earning money. And that then has an impact on your thought processes. And if you imagine, 90% of those thought processes are just daily recycled. That's why, as traders, we need to put that conscious effort into understanding what's going on, having an awareness, and consciously try to change our reality by consciously trying to change our thoughts, and doing all of those different practices that people engage in, like meditation, like affirmations, like writing things down, like engaging in a lot of different work. Because if you think about it, that will reshape everything, right? But it's not as easy. It takes work. If you imagine and you have been conditioned, let's say, in a certain way for years, it's not going to take you a week to change it around. That is why there is a continuous effort that is necessary from you as a trader when it comes to development, self-development, and trading psychology as well, because you're not thinking, you are repeating everything over and over again. There is also another theory that is called reticular activating system. Let's call it RAS, because it doesn't matter what it's called RAS for short. And essentially that is your filtering process of your reality based on what you believe. So based on what you believe, you will experience the world, right? So myself and another trader may experience exactly the same thing on the charts, but because of our belief system, we will interpret it differently. This is the reason why when you experience the same event, two different people will have completely different experiences through different belief systems, because those belief systems interpret what is going on in your reality, and that then has an impact on how you are feeling, what choices you are making, what you are thinking, what kind of emotions you are experiencing, and that dictates everything moving forward. So if you believe that success is dangerous, if you believe success is only for the 1% and not for anybody else, if you believe that money changes people, or there is a lot of actually sayings that money is evil, that money changes people, that this and the other, or that you always blow accounts, that actually you never are going to be like that other trader, or you should work hard. Trading can become very effortless when you are consistent and pretty boring. But if you are taught by the society that you need to work relentlessly in order to achieve something, then you will have all of those thoughts and perceptions about what it takes to make $1,000. And your brain would then start filtering that out as a proof to success, that you are unable to achieve certain things and you are unable to focus on certain things, because you will be validating what is going on in your reality through your limiting beliefs. So I'll give you an example. If you are in profit and your trade is running really well, but you are used to your trade's not running well, your nervous system will start panicking because this is not familiar to you, that you're actually winning. So automatically you will start doubting yourself and thinking, surely this can't last. I am not a profitable trader, but look, this is running in profit. That's why you close early, because you're not used to your system working out. You're not used to profit in the market. You're not used to things going your way. And that's not because of your logic. It's because of your filtration process of how you're understanding your reality. And you understand your reality by thinking you don't deserve this. This is where all of the problems are stemming from. This topic here is the core epiphany of what is stopping people from achieving things. Because, all of those famous sayings and quotes, if you see in your mind and in your thoughts, you can see in your life, is the truth. Because if you do not believe in yourself, if you do not believe that you can achieve what you set yourself out to achieve, you will not get there. You can have the best people around you. You can have the best trading system. You can have the best trading psychologist in front of you. You can have absolutely everything, the best laptop to trade on. You can have the biggest trading account in front of you. But if you don't believe you can achieve what you set out to achieve, and you don't back yourself with your own thoughts, you will never get there. That is the reality. Because if your belief is saying you are not good at managing money, if your belief is saying it's impossible for you to earn a certain amount of money, you will not. You put your own ceiling on your growth potential. You put your own ceiling on trading potential. You do it by yourself. It is nobody else that is making those decisions for you. You're making those decisions. You are coded a certain way, but this is where we, through these sessions, bring the awareness. So when you have that awareness about what is going on, you have the knowledge, this is where you receive the power to change your reality, to change your thinking systems, and to change everything about your trading trajectory. So I want you now to all think and reflect on what has been said so far, and actually think whether you are limiting yourself in your own mind and whether you are sabotaging yourself. Because I know a lot of traders sabotage themselves and they say, how do I stop the self-sabotage? And this is where it all begins. It's about the self-audit that I want you to do now in order for you to spot any hidden limiting beliefs that may actually be dragging you down and not allowing you to reach your full potential. So let's get practical here. And I want you guys, whether you are here live or whether you are rewatching, grab a pen and paper now or type on your laptop, on your phone. And I will give you a few prompts and I will read them one by one. You can then pause the video and go through it, because this audit is going to help you to understand what is stopping you. And then I'm going to apply another framework for you. So number one, what feels emotionally risky about success for you? Is it the pressure? Is it the expectations that other people may have from you? Is it being judged? Is it about the failures on the way of success? What feels emotionally risky? Why does success feel risky to you? Okay. Then number 2, what do you believe will happen if you grow your account too fast? Do you think you may lose it? Do you think you may lose yourself? Or do you feel like you might be perceived as greedy by your family members or by your friends or by other traders? Number 3, how do you explain failure to yourself? That's an important one. How do you speak to yourself? And how do you explain to yourself failure? Do you say, oh, I'm just stupid, I don't deserve this, I knew it, I don't have what it takes, I'll never get there? Is that how you speak to yourself when you blow another trading account, or when you breach the loss limit, or when you have streak of losses? Because that is extremely important, whether you perceive those moments as teaching moments or whether you perceive those moments as moments of self-criticism. Because when you are criticizing yourself, and there is a big difference between criticism and accountability. Self-accountability is one thing. When you think, okay, stop messing up. This is how we're going to learn from this. And yes, it's my fault, but I'm going to move forward. I'm going to learn from this. And this is one, accountability. But self-blame is you keep on repeating to yourself that you don't deserve to achieve what you set to achieve. And you are keeping strengthening that thought in your brain over and over and over again. Now, number 4, what patterns do you keep repeating even though you know better? What do you do? And that is in the markets or also just in life. What are the patterns you engage in? And it could be simple. In life, it could be every time you get angry, you start shouting or you snap at people. Is this a pattern there? In the markets, what do you do? When you take a loss, does something happen? What takes over you? And also, this is an important one, and you may think it's an odd one, but number 5, whose voice are you hearing when you mess up? Your own voice? Nobody? Your parents' voice? Your coach's voice or your mentor's voice? Do you hear your partner's voice, your sibling's voice? Do you hear yourself when you were younger or when someone was speaking to you when you were younger? That is actually going to tell you a lot where a lot of your thought processes are stemming from as well, because beliefs are not fixed. This is a good news. Even though you have believed something for 12 years, 20 years, 30 years, beliefs are learned, which means you can unlearn them and you can learn something new and you can change things. Let me tell you something about beliefs. Let's say there are 2 people in a house. They're sleeping upstairs. And let's say they are hearing a big bang in the kitchen. One person believes in ghosts, the other doesn't. The one that believes in ghosts gets spooked for the rest of the night and they don't go back to sleep. The person that doesn't believe in ghosts just goes back to sleep and is not bothered about the noise in the kitchen. That's what beliefs do to you. You interpret the same situation in completely different manner. But you can change your beliefs. But also, you have to realize that beliefs are hard to change because beliefs are often shaped for years and years to come. So it takes a lot for you to reshape them and understand things differently. So there is a tabletop theory that is going to help you to understand what limiting beliefs you are holding at the moment and how to rewire your brain in order for you to change your belief system. So from this part onwards, if you are not listening before, and now it's time to pay attention. Pay attention and again, action it. Pen and paper, write, think, reflect. You can listen to those sessions, 10, 20 sessions in a row. But if you are not going to implement knowledge from them, you're not committing into action. You are not moving a momentum in your mindset, in your psychology. And that's what's important, for you to move forward and to actually implement the knowledge, because that's when the real change happens. So think of a belief as a tabletop. Okay, so this is a tabletop theory. So a table has top and legs. All right. So the tabletop, the flat part, is your belief. It's your surface. So now I want you to think about whatever belief you have about trading, about money, or about anything at all in your life. Then the legs of the tabletop, the legs are the evidence that keeps that belief standing. So those are the evidence. You need at least 3 legs for the table to stand, ideally 4. So I want you to find 4. So let's say the belief is, I'm bad with money, or it's hard for me to get money. Then the legs of the belief is the evidence. So this is why I want you to search for evidence for your belief. I'm bad with money. Okay, why? I lost my first trading account. My parents struggled financially. I am not very good at math. And I always been taught by my country, by my society, that money is hard to get. So now your job isn't to force a new belief. No. Before we start replacing, we need to understand the core of our belief about money. So in order for you to change that belief, you first need to switch the evidence about the belief. Okay, so it's to remove the legs and the evidence that is holding the limiting belief. So what you need to do is remove that evidence in order to build a new one. So the old belief would be, and this is where you need to actually test the evidence. So number 1, you lost your trading account. Okay, you actually did. So that's one leg. That's actually fact. Number 2, my parents struggled with money. Okay, it's a fact, but that doesn't mean you have to struggle with money. Number 3, I was not good at math. Math in trading, actually, for you to be a successful trader, doesn't really matter. Remove that. Number 4, my society taught me that it's hard to earn money. Yes, it was maybe at one point, but now the times have changed. People make money online. There are so many ways to make money, actually. So I've been brainwashed by my society. Maybe it was a fact before, but it isn't anymore. So you actually now have only one evidence for being bad with money. And that is that you lost the account. So 3 are removed. So see, we can make that belief collapse now. Because it's not only hard work that is the only way to make money. Because trading can be simple. Because you don't need math for it. So now that you understand and you write it all down and say, okay, I have this belief. I thought it was all this evidence for it. But actually, as I thought about it, this evidence is irrelevant. I have only one piece of evidence, but I can make that belief collapse. And this is where the replacement part comes. And you can now start the rewiring process by introducing the new belief to replace the old belief. Once you introduce the new belief, this is where you start building the evidence, the tabletop. And you start, okay, I'm good with money. Why? Because actually, if I implemented my risk management, I wouldn't have lost that account. Okay, I lost the account, but I can learn from it because now I understand what is my winning streak, what is my lose streak, and what exactly I need to do and how to limit myself. Is it impossible to make money online, or is hard to make money? No, absolutely not. There are so many people that have multiple streams of income, and I can be one of those people too. Now, okay, my parents struggle with money, but this is my job now to make money to take care of them. So you can now start the rewiring process and identify the new belief. And you now, for the new belief, have to find the evidence. And this is where it is important for you to actually write it down, the belief that's stopping you, the new belief that you're going to replace it with, the evidence, remove the irrelevant evidence, strengthen the new evidence for the new belief, and actually write it out. Why write it out? Because when you write it out, what did we say before? You experience thousands of thoughts per day. They all recycled, 90% of them are the same. So actually, when you are going to implement the new thing, the new belief system, write it out, because you are materializing it. You are bringing it to life. You can see it. When your brain can see it written out as a plan, you start rewiring process of implementing something new, reinforcing a new repetition to remove the old belief. Now, let me tell you one thing though. the removing of the old belief is going to take work. But I don't want you to say, I am not good with money, with I am good. I want you to start replacing. Now, I want you to think about one thing. When it comes to the tabletop, when it comes to those pieces of evidence, it's going to take time for you to remove something that you have been programmed to believe for 20, 30 years. So don't expect from yourself to kind of do that exercise and then, okay, I'm done. Either works or it doesn't. No, this is what it has to become your, in a way, lifestyle, that on a daily basis you are supporting yourself and your personal growth by implementing the new belief systems. And this is where it is important for you to be reviewing your plans, not just a trading plan, but a plan of what you want to achieve. Because when you understand what you want to achieve and read it out loud to yourself and look at it every single day, you are rewiring your brain, bringing it to the attention. So you are removing the recycled thoughts and you are bringing in the new and fresh thoughts. So when you are bringing that to life and keep on repeating it, it becomes your new reality. Because beliefs are not facts. They are survival blueprints. And blueprints can be redrawn. And this is where, with all of that exercise, you are redrawing your blueprint, your foundation of trading growth. If you actually take this exercise seriously and you implement it, I guarantee you will see changes. You will not only see changes, you will become a different person, because I want to highlight to you guys one important thing. Every single consistent trader that we host in our success stories, what do they tell you? Trading psychology is most important. The way I speak to myself is most important. I treat trading as a business. They literally manifest things by writing things down, by repeating to themselves, I am a successful trader. I am bringing it to my attention and I am working on myself constantly and repeatedly. Does it get hard and uncomfortable? Yes, it does. But that's absolutely fine, because they are extremely focused on getting towards their goal. You need to know what you want to achieve. When you know what you want to achieve, you need to start rewiring your brain, because guys, we are brainwashed as a society of what is possible and what is not. This is a fact, common fact. And it is our job that we need to take upon ourselves to change that. Because there's one important thing that I need to tell you in terms of how we process things. And that's why you need to read things to bring it to your own attention. Because when there is an event happening on the charts, let's say, stop loss, your thoughts and how you think about that stop loss, whether you think about it, okay, I trust in my system, never mind, let's move on. That's going to reshape your whole reality and what you're going to do after. But if you think, oh my God, this is the end of the world, that's it, I am getting further away from my goals, what does that do? Your thoughts filter through the information. That information goes through your thoughts. Your thoughts then trigger a certain emotion, whether that's anger, frustration, sadness, and the intensity of that emotion. Then that intense emotion is going to have an impact on your next behavior, on your choice. This is where you overtrade and the cycle repeats itself, because the overtrading, what does it do? It causes you to lose, and it causes you to lose, and again you start thinking negatively, and then a negative emotion, and so forth and so on. And this is where you need to catch yourself. Whoa, the event happened, the thought is negative, I am removing myself from here. You need to find that gap of control where you break the cycle. Without breaking the cycle, you're just running on autopilot. You are lost in your subconscious mind. So you need to understand that your thoughts, whenever you take a stop loss, say to yourself, amazing, great job. I am feeling good. I'm feeling calm. This is part of the process. And trust me, if you would repeat to yourself after every single stop loss, every single day of July, you would be a different trader in August, because you would not see things as so much of a big deal anymore. And I guarantee you that. So your job for July is to rewire your reality. is to rewrite your blueprint. It's to rewrite your history and your past and what you believe so far and what you've been taught by other people for you to create your own reality. But in order for you to create your reality, you can't just think, you need to action it. You need to take that pen and paper and put the work in. Because at the moment, you're not trading your system, you're trading your beliefs. And you will always trade your beliefs alongside your system. But this is where you need to rewrite your belief system in order for you to be the trader that you deserve to be at your full potential. You don't need more rules. You don't need another trading system. You just need more awareness in terms of your trading psychology, in terms of your belief systems and what's limiting you and what's the evidence for it and how to replace it and what to do. And once you will bring that awareness, you will actually start sticking to the rules. Because at the moment, you don't believe in your rules. You don't trust your rules. That's why you don't stick to them. Because your beliefs are not in place. So instead of thinking, I'm not consistent, think I am consistent. I am the most amazing risk manager in the world. Honestly, I did this simple exercise here at Funding Pips. And one of our employees, I said to him, just change your mind. When you start on Monday, just say to yourself, I'm going to have an amazing trading week. I'm an amazing trader. I'm great at risk management. He was saying that at the start of every single day out loud to himself in a mirror. He had the best trading week that week. And I'm not even lying to you. He literally said to me, Paulina, this is amazing. And I was like, see, this is how simple it is. But he started actually believing what he started saying to himself. Because every single time he started a week, he was like, okay, let me just protect myself from losing. But that week, he went into a full belief that he's going to have the best trading week. And he did. But he believed it in his core. Because you saying I'm not consistent, it will become an inconsistent execution. You believe in, I'm just going to blow this account anyway. You will blow that account. If you are going to think, oh, this is too easy, you're just going to lose and lose and lose and lose. You need to shift. And think about what can be that one belief that is actually dragging you down, and what are you going to replace it with? Because I think that can really reshape you as a trader, as a person, and your future. And I say with full conviction that if you put in the work, you could change your life around within the next 2 months by purchasing a challenge from Funding Pips, 100K, and passing it and getting your first rewards in 2 months. Your life could look completely different. Not just your life, but the life of your loved ones too. You have that power within you. But the only person who can unleash that power, who can allow for that power to be at its full potential, is you yourself. And that is not going to come without work. You need to put in the work. And if you're ready to put in the work in July, then let's do it. Let's do it. And on Monday, on Discord channel at 5 p.m. Dubai time, so the same time as this session, we talk. We talk and we strategize for July. I expect every single one of you there. Monday, Discord, 5 p.m., Psychology Corner. We talk. What actually are you going to do in July? What belief are you going to change about yourself? It's important. And with that thought, I will leave you here. And if you are here live, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment under this video. What is the old belief? What is the new belief? What are you going to work on in July? I want to know. Because when I know and when I see you are bringing awareness to me, what you're struggling with. And when I know what you're struggling with, I know how to help you. So it's really important for you, all of you, to engage in that exercise. And if you are rewatching, I hope you enjoyed it. And remember to like, subscribe. And as always, come back at 5 p.m. Dubai time every single Friday. And also remember, on Wednesdays, we have success stories also at 5 p.m. Dubai time with our traders. And the next one is amazing. The next trader on next Wednesday, received over $80,000 in rewards, $80,000 in rewards. So I really can't wait for that conversation and to showcase to every single one of you what it takes to get there, and that you can get there. And you could be next. I could be speaking from comments, Daniel, King Ahmed, Howie, David. I could be speaking with you in the next 2 months in a success story. If you actually take this session seriously, in the next 2 months, you will be my guest in a success story. Guarantee that. Without further ado, I will love you and leave you. Take care, guys. Have a beautiful weekend. And see you next Friday and on Monday on our Discord. Take care. Bye-bye.
Where success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever. Funding Pips. Built by traders for traders. Where success meets psychology in Paulina's way. Strengthen your mindset every week. Success story every Wednesday. Traders who broke through their limits. Psychology session every Friday. Join now. Hit the bell. One session could change your trading forever.